This vlog is going to cover what you need to know to use your Pilot Wife privileges and fly for free, and why I'm using air quotes when I say that. My husband's a commercial airline pilot, and he's been flying for his current company for over 7 years. He flies for a regional airline which contracts with 4 of the major airlines: Delta, United, Alaska, and American. One perk of the job is that not only does he get to fly for free on any of these airlines, so do I as his spouse, and any of our kids and future kids will be able to do so as well. The industry lingo for using your employee flying privileges is called non-revving, which stands for non-revenue passenger. You would think I'm flying all over constantly then, right? In truth, I've used my Pilot Wife privileges about 10 times, because it's definitely got some tricky things that you need to figure out, which I'll go into detail. I wanted to take you along with me as I go through my strategy for finding the best routes to plan on our non-rev trip from Boise, Idaho down to Oklahoma City. First, we fly as standby passengers. That means that you can get on any flight you want as long as there just happens to be unfilled seats and not too many other standby passengers also vying for spots on that flight. Standby allows you to get a preliminary ticket to go through security, but no seat assignment. Once the flight is about to board, if there are empty seats left on the flight, the gate agent will begin to assign remaining seats to anyone listed on standby. Sometimes there are plenty of seats and everyone listed on standby is easily added to the flight for free. This is best case scenario. If you've done any flying in the last few years, you know that's not the norm. More often than not, flights are full or even overbooked. That's why my first tip is to not just have one particular flight that you're going for, but to have a backup option, and in most cases 2 backup options of other flight paths that will get you to the same destination at a later time. Now, if you live in a major airport hub like LAX or NYC, then it's going to be really simple for you. You just simply look at direct flights to the destination you're heading to. My family lives in Boise, Idaho. The number of nonstop destinations are very limited. Out of smaller airport bases, there's most likely not going to be a direct flight to where you want to go, so you'll need to find 2 legs with a stop in a major airport. Like for us, it would be Denver or Seattle or Salt Lake to get to our end goal. This is what complicates non-revving, because now you have to find 2 different flights that both happen to have open seats for you. You're going to want to look at flight loads out of all the major cities to find out which ones would have the best odds of having available seats. She's awake, but she's not standing up, so I'm just gonna let her play and keep moving. I found a really helpful visual representation of airports that have non-stop routes to OKC, which is where we want our final destination to be. I'm only recording the airport codes of places that have a direct flight from Boise. So I know from experience, Boise has direct flights to Seattle, Salt Lake, Denver, Las Vegas, Phoenix, LAX, ORD, Houston. I am going to rule out ORD, which is Chicago, because that would put us spending so much time in the air to get somewhere that's not even close. I don't want to fly for 8 hours with a toddler on my lap. So we're going to cross out ORD. We're going to stick to these West Coast cities. Now I'm going to look at how many flights per day travel to OKC out of these airports and rank them. I'm assuming that Salt Lake and Denver are going to have the most flights per day, giving me the best odds of getting on a standby seat. Morning.
Bow.
You do need a bow, huh?
Hi.
I don't know where it is either. We'll get a new one. Blow us a kiss. And then blow it.
Hi.
Hi. Once I figure out the flight options we have and look at the flight loads to determine which flights we're going to try for, I send them to my husband, and then he uses his employee login to list us as standby passengers on each of the flights. Right now what I'm seeing is Delta's option from Boise to Salt Lake City, 2-hour sit, and then Salt Lake City to Oklahoma. Honestly, these time of days would work out better for us anyway. Brinley could sleep in to her normal wake-up time. This would give us her nap on the plane, which would work out well, and then we get there at a reasonable hour. So we'll look for loads on here and see if this could be a contender. I write down each of the flights that were available that we are going to hope to fly standby to get out to Oklahoma. From here, it's a waiting game. We show up at the airport with extra snacks and activities, because if the first option fills up, we'll just wait at the airport until the next flight option. If you're listed as a standby passenger on a flight from, say, Boise to Salt Lake City, and it fills up without you getting a seat, you'll automatically be bumped as a standby passenger on the next flight from Boise to Salt Lake City. Hopefully we actually end up in Oklahoma. Chance we might end up in Salt Lake City. Chance we might end up back in Boise. Another pilot wife perk, I guess you could say, is that if you're flying with your spouse, you would get to park in the employee parking lot, which saves you some parking fees, and then you can just ride with them on the employee shuttle that can take you to your terminal.
Woohoo!
Okay, this is where it all kind of turns into a shit show. United, full. Delta, delayed. Now we're trying to pay for a Southwest flight. Good news is we're on an airplane. So we'll go somewhere. We have an excellent update. So this exact situation is why I don't use my flight benefits too often. We initially had 3 different flights out of Boise. One ended up having major mechanical issues and was delayed several hours, so we would have missed the connection to Oklahoma. The other flights ended up filling up between the time that we got through security and before boarding began. We did find a route on Southwest through Vegas, but my husband doesn't fly for Southwest, so we don't have free seats. We do, however, have an airline employee discount where we basically pay taxes and fees, so it's still really reasonable. This ended up being our 4th backup plan. Like I said, my husband doesn't work for Southwest, so he doesn't have easy access to see flight loads on the different options. He does have some contacts and friends that are pilots at different airlines, so we were in contact with them heavily throughout the day to give us updates on what our best option would be. The flight from Vegas to Oklahoma City ended up being delayed, I think almost 3 hours, and we ended up not landing in Oklahoma City until nearly midnight. This little baby is such a trooper. I don't know how I got blessed with such an angel, but with the minimal napping she had and such a late bedtime, she actually made this travel day so much easier than it could have been. Do you want a diaper? Look at that sign. We made it! We did it! Where's its body?
He's tucked in his shell. He's
I
shelled
didn't
up.
realize it. You couldn't even see his head.
His head will be up.
Or is that his butt?
No, that's his butt.
Okay.
And this part will come down.
Like a little garage door.
Yeah, a little garage door. Okay, and then we'll get behind him.
Yeah. He's on the move. Brinley, what is that?
Bye.
Bye, turtle. We don't have those in Idaho. I'm gonna go exploring. Good job. Hop, hop, hop.
Bye. Bye.
A bug.
Yuck.
Yuck.
Bye. Hop.
Frogs hop, hop, hop.
Up.
Okay. I'm happy to report that even though we had to wake up at 4 a.m. to get on the first flights out, we were able to successfully get on our first choice flights back home to Boise when the trip was over. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this or any other topics that you'd like me to go over, and I'm happy to do so. Thanks for watching. Bye.